Good evening, everyone. Can everybody hear me? Welcome, welcome. Tonight, we've got a lot of things to recap. After the last live broadcast fiasco, we are going to hit it hard tonight. And with me, we're going to have Deb Johnson. And we're going to talk about, yes, thank you, Deb, for being in chat tonight. Hello, Bernard, Carolyn. Oh my gosh, we've got new people. Jim, Michelle, Carolyn, Athena. Good to see everybody. Hello, Michelle Pence. So as we get it going, sit tight, don't go anywhere. We're talking about the covert narcissist tonight and all those wonderful things that make them so dangerous. And we're going to tie them all into demonology today. Hello, Kathy. Sit tight, folks.
The real deals are on the air now. And now, live from the Swords of St. Michael Studios, it's The Real Deals. Kenneth and Pharaoh's Deal.
Deb, you with us? Deb.
Yes, I'm here. I was just checking the chat room. Sorry.
That's okay. You go ahead and cover chat because we may get a lot of questions tonight. Last week, we actually had a power outage, Deb, so we only got to 8 on my list.
Okay, we both did.
You had a power outage. You couldn't do anything, and so consequently, tonight, kids, we've got a lot of information to hit you with. Thank you for the hearts, Athena. That's so sweet of you. And I just thought, Deb, we have got so much to cover on this covert narcissist. When we go into the last chapter, the covert narcissist, leaving the covert narcissist and healing, gosh, I hate to say it, but there's just so much to cover and there's so little time. So I'm going to get into praying and we're going to jump in. Okay, you ready?
Ready.
All right. St. Michael prayer, kiddies. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sanctus, sic ut erat in principio et nunc et semper saecula saeculorum. All right, kids. Sancta Michael Arcangele, defende nos in prelio, contra nequitiam et insidias diaboli est oppressidium. Imperili Deus, supplices te peccamur tuque. Princeps militia celestis satana maliosque, spiritus malignos, qui ad perditionem animarum, perogantur in mundo divina virtute, in infernum detrude. Amen.
Amen.
Woo! What a week, huh? Crazy weather all over the place, and here we go.
Absolutely.
All right, you guys, if you guys did not write down the first 8, I'd like you to hit the like button, subscribe, go back into my live videos, and check it out. I did make 8, so we already started. I'm not going to go over them here. Deb, we're going to jump right into our number 9. Our number 8 on the list, Deb, we just talked about was the desire of the covert narcissist, and to just bring everybody up to speed. What we're doing is we're taking from the DSM and we're taking a cluster B personality trait, which has multiple layers. Hey, Tony C, you finally made it. I see you showed up. Sorry, I couldn't resist it.
Tony.
So we're taking all these layers and we're kind of like unmasking them, and we're going directly to the covert, which is different from the overt. When you have an overt narcissist, you're looking like at the pride, the king of the jungle, the one that's in your face and is just like fluffing it up right there. The covert is the serpent in the garden. The covert is the one that you don't even know until they sneak up on you. That's the covert. So the last one we talked about was guilt tripping, Deb. That's the new one we're going to talk about. The guilt trip of the covert narcissist, Deb. How do covert narcissists, in the comparison with demons, how do they get you with guilt? You want to talk about that for a second?
Oh, fair. You know it was all your fault.
I know, right? It's always my fault. Talk to Dennis. He knows all about that.
That's a narcissist. They always blame it on someone else.
Exactly.
It's never their fault. Ever.
Right? Serious? So what we're talking about with guilt tripping here is that the covert, if the overt's going to guilt trip you, they're going to come out and tell you you stink, you suck, you're horrible, you're doing a rotten job. Whereas the covert narcissist is going to be so underhanded, you don't even know that you've been literally absolutely cut at the knees, and you're just standing there going, huh? Because the covert's going to be very sly and insidious. So the covert narcissist is going to basically say, you know, if you had probably studied more, or had you paid attention, you probably wouldn't be finding yourself in this situation and possibly depending on me. Now, that's a really horrible thing to say if you think about it, looking outside in, but the covert is going to layer levels of responsibility on you that basically takes any and all responsibility off of them, making everything something you need to feel really bad about. Now, how does the demonic do this? How does the demonic do this? When we look at cases, and we look at case study, and we look at things, Deb, that we've experienced and we've seen, the demonic in its invitational dance to the human that's unsuspecting, what you're looking at is you're looking at communications such as rapping, tapping, you're looking at Ouija board talk, you're looking at horoscopes that'll tell you what they want. You're looking at tools that are used to make you feel as if somehow or another you're to blame. As if you are the one responsible for anything that happens. Remember how David was so scared, Deb?
Yeah.
And that thing basically made him feel that it was his fault, that it was there.
Always.
Yes. Tell people that, because they just don't understand the level of psychological warfare these demons create.
Oh, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
They want to think it's all your fault, and you start to believe that it's your fault.
Exactly.
That's the irony of it. You start to actually believe, well, really, is it me?
Mm-hmm. Totally. And I think when people look at the psychology of narcissism, it's easy to say, oh, that person's vain, and probably a narcissist. Narcissist is such an overused word. The mentality of the shame of the narcissist is so deeply embedded. And the comparison to the demonic is never going to be in the presence of God. The demonic knew what the presence of God was and how blissful that was. So in the sense, they're operating from the same self-entitled, indulgent shame. And that shame, if you expose it, better run. Okay, Deb, the next one we've got here is, we're looking at, oh my gosh, the extreme self-centered behavior. Now, when we're talking about we're talking about a neurosis here. And what is a neurosis? Something that it drives us completely. And
they're the center of attraction, baby.
Exactly. And it's just, this self-centeredness is just, it's a stubborn passive-aggressive behavior that is so extreme. It's incestual. It's something that their self-centeredness, they must feed off of all your emotions, and everything you have is going towards them. Whether you're walking next to them in a grocery store, whether you are helping them do something, whether it's paint a house or go somewhere, what you are doing reflects them, because everything
I don't care if you're at a barbecue with a family gathering and it's all about them.
Exactly. And that's the dangerous thing, that people don't realize that whatever you're doing, you are not seen as a separate identity. You're seen as part of who they are. And in how this rates the demonic, we have to look at how the demonic operates and how the demonic enters into an abusive relationship with a human in order to get them to completely destroy their life and destroy themselves. So when we say extreme self-centered behavior, and when we say neurotic with the demonics, you're not going to understand what you think this spirit guide is talking to you, that you believe is doing everything for you, or that you believe is giving you all this free information, because you're looking at it from the outside in. Whereas this entity, this preternatural creature, is so self-centered, you don't even see how you're being used. And in a way, most narcissists are the same way. They want to get you. You got to trust me. You need to
and you know, there's a narcissist in everyone's family. I don't care who you are. Mm-hmm. There is a narcissist in everyone's family.
I think so too. I mean, I got to say hi to Doris. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Doris, for supporting the show. Hey, you guys can also support the show by clicking like, please, or in the little corner, click the bell, which means subscribe. You'll get notifications, and you can listen to us hang out, chat, talk, take your questions, and all sorts of interesting topics on the latest in demonology and today's take on the psychology of the human psyche and how it relates. Thank you so much, Doris. And everybody, like I said, give us a like, so that way my video goes to the top and people actually want to hear it, whether they like it or not. Thank you, guys. So on to the next one. We gotta get through these. Deb, help. Okay, hyper-vigilant. Oh my gosh, this is so true, especially for narcissist and demonic kids. The hyper-vigilant, Deb, we're talking about is that they have to constantly be on guard around you and around anybody, how they're perceived, how they're seen. And what they need is they need adulation constantly. So any kind of criticism, Deb, any kind of criticism is just going to throw them into a tizzy. And for the covert narcissist, the difference here is the overt narcissist will just come out and punch you. They don't care. They're going to get in your face. Mm-hmm. But the covert, on the other hand, the covert narcissist is going to find a way to get back at you. Criticize a covert narcissist on, let's just say, a religious covert narcissist. Let them know that, wow, haven't seen you at church lately. And what's that covert narcissist doing behind your back? Ooh, at the coffee counter, they're going to be telling everybody that they saw you smoking when you should have been in church.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Or
exactly.
They're going to
they're going to attack you on social media.
Oh gosh, yes. Isn't that the truth? Oh my gosh.
That's it. They're
so
going to attack you on social media because that's where they have their first encounter. They can get it. They can spread the word better on social media.
That is so perfect. You just hit it right on the nail. What Deb's talking about here, you guys, is that social media was an attempt to feed one's ego. I mean, we're not talking about like the old MySpace where it was a bunch of musicians that wanted to share stuff. We're talking about the social media of today, which is your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram. It's all about me. Exactly. You've got the kudos, you've got the likes, you've got this and that, and everything else. This is how demonics work. So in the case of the covert narcissist being hyper-vigilant about criticism, they will find any way they can to depants you, dethrone you. Good Lord, I hope I can say that. You can't do so many things on YouTube, kids. I so apologize. But they have to stay in control. And that control means that you are not allowed to criticize them. You are not allowed to say anything about them. Okay, so let's get on with that. The demonic, we know you can't criticize the demonic because they'll just make your life bloody blaze is horrible. Okay, now number 12 is interesting because this is one that this is what we call a layer that can cross over into other personality types. Deb, we're talking about number 12 being the huge victim mentality with a messiah complex. Messiah meaning their victimhood needs you to see them as a savior. In other words, this is the person that says, oh, yes, call me anytime, day or night, because...
Oh, those are the righteous ones.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Exactly, Tony. You got to be the star of the social media circle. This Messiah complex, they want to be the star of your life because they want you to basically worship them in your life as being the only thing you possibly need. And that Messiah complex, the minute you ignore them, the minute you don't have time for them, the minute you turn away from them, how can you treat them like that? The whole victim mentality is exposed, that how could you do this to them? How could you possibly do this? Now, when you look at the narcissist and you look at the levels of instigation by the demonic, a lot of people say that there are some ways stronger than other that you can get rid of demonics and you can basically make them go away, especially before a full-blown infestation, or haunting. Now, what I'm talking about, drawing the lines between the narcissist and the demonics here, is that criticism is a no. When you are telling them, sorry, I don't need you, that's a no. They don't like it. They must maintain a form of control over the relationship, and the demonics are no different. So when you try to pull back, what do? They use everything in their toolbox, Deb. I mean, they make you feel guilty.
Absolutely.
They scare you. They threaten you. You're never going to get along without me. How are you ever going to get through this? How are you going to be a psychic without me? I mean, you do not want to upset your superstar spiritual guide, right?
Absolutely.
Here's my button.
This is my last word. No! No.
Sorry, I had to use that, guys. My son got that for me, the other real deal here. But I know.
We need a little humor.
We did, didn't we? And,
We do.
people, I'm sorry, they criticize me for laughing, for my hairdo, for whatever I wear. It's like, I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just me.
Well, Farrah, I totally agree with you. I'm so sick of the people that, we were always a family on this radio show.
Yes, always.
And everybody Ken always had a joke for everything,
Exactly.
And people complained about my dog barking.
Remember
I'm
that?
sorry.
Oh, I know, and
I'm
I just
sorry
heard the
if my dog
train.
barks, but you know what? I have her for my protection. And if you don't like it, go somewhere else. But she's my dog. She's my family.
Exactly. And Tony just said...
I've been on this radio show for 12 years.
I know, honey. I know.
And, you have to accept us as we are. I love humor, and I know you love humor.
Oh, gosh, yes.
We can talk about the straightest things on earth, but, a lot of times you have to throw in humor.
Well...
Because we are all human, and let's lighten up a little. We can talk about the demonic till we're blue in the face. Doesn't mean everyone's going to believe us, but I've been there, and I've seen it, and that's what it is, honey.
Well, I think you've got a point there. If people cannot understand that...
We have to lighten up.
And not only do we have to lighten up, but sometimes things are so horrific that we have to laugh, you guys, period. We just have to laugh.
Yeah. You have to. You can't be all, glum and all, super serious. But what we talk about is serious facts.
Yes.
But, sometimes we have to laugh about it because if you don't laugh about it, you'll go insane.
And that's what I'm talking about. I'm already past insane, people. You guys already know that. And I have to laugh to get through every day. End of story, Morning Glory, right?
That's why I love you.
Tony wants me to bring back the Dr. Freud medicine ball. Now, didn't we just call that divination on another show, you guys? Tony, what's wrong with you? Okay, now, I'm going to interrupt this broadcast for a very important announcement, you guys. We're talking about narcissism in case you just joined us. In case you just joined us, we're talking about narcissism. I know it's not funny, but guess what? I've lived it. I've lived through hell, and I live to tell. So guess what? You get to listen. 1-800-799, and I'm going to post this tonight, 7233. I'm going to post this right now. What is the number I'm giving you? I'm going to probably be sharing this this week because we are going to be doing more shows, Deb, on, psychology, psychopathy of, the demonics and this sort of thing. This number right here, you guys, is a number I'd like you to pass out, note, jot down. It is the national number hotline for domestic assault violence. And domestic assault and violence is what some of this narcissist, especially the covert, okay? Because the overt narcissist, okay, you get punched once, you can walk away. The overt narcissist steals your sense of self. The covert narcissist steals everything good about the joy you have in your heart. The covert narcissist turns you into a whiny, crying heap of nothing, the same as the demonics do. So let's take this number and let's blast it this week, you guys. It's 1-800-799-7233. And abuse comes in many, many forms. A lot of people think, well, I'm not getting black eyes every day, and he's not abusing drugs. He's not smacking little Johnny around. Everybody thinks he's so wonderful. These narcissistic traits I'm going over with you. There's a certain person that is targeted by the covert narcissist, and usually they're empathic, they're loving, they're caring, they're raised as caregivers, usually having families. They grow up in families that have alcoholics, they have families that are hurting, that are abused, that have been victims of sexual incest or molestation of some sort, and it perpetrates. And this is the demonic seed, kids. So please pass that number out, and just know that if you know somebody, or if you are suffering at the hands of a covert narcissist, please talk to somebody. Get some help. Anything to add, Deb, before we go on?
What, that you and I were attacked when we were children?
Oh, yeah.
And this completely?
Yeah, that's pretty awful. And a lot of people, especially some of the
I'm putting it in a mild manner.
Yeah, I know you are. And a lot of people don't know that are new to the show, or...
No, the ones that are new to the show would not know that.
No.
So that's why we know. So that's why you're putting that number out there, because you and I have both been exposed.
In very horrible, very ugly, negative ways, you guys. So that's...
And we are survivors, Farrah.
Exactly. Nothing more, nothing less. Not bitter, not angry, not ugly. We are survivors.
As old as we are, of course we hurt. We have scars.
Yes.
And when we do our prayers, we do our rosaries or whatever.
Exactly.
We still have to forgive the ones that scarred us in order for us to carry on with our lives. Because if we don't, that would be bringing us down.
Not only that, Deb, that gives away your power. That gives away the power you have to say no.
Exactly.
Your actions will not rule my life.
Exactly, sweetie.
And that is the best revenge against the demonic, is joy and prayer and living a happy life.
I'm actually at the point in my life where I have forgiven the person.
Yes, you have to.
Persons.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, persons. Okay, because it was scarring my life so bad. I was having such a bad time with it. I had to offer it up to God. Mm-hmm. And I told him to take it away from me. I have to forgive this person so I can get on with my life, so I can still take care of my family. I was still raising my children.
Yes. You had to. Because, and this is what the covert narcissists do. They get their tentacles in you so deep that it lasts into adulthood. It lasts into your marriage. And yes, Athena, forgiveness takes years. It takes years to realize that our emotional quotient of loving and being tortured by somebody when we were 2 or 2 months or 12 or 18. Our emotional quotient doesn't have to stop there. We don't have to remain tied, always serving somebody that could only love us so far. We can grow up and we can say, you know what? I can honor my parents, or I can honor the people that raised me. I can still honor them without giving into their guilt tripping, giving into their constant narcissistic feed of needing to make me look bad in front of people so that they look good. There are so many ways that you can forgive and pull away, but this is not the show. We're going to continue on here, Deb, okay? So the next one I have is, and the insecurities and defects are projected on you on a daily, regular basis. When we talk about the shame-based narcissist, Deb, and we're talking about how they don't see themselves as pretty or as smart, what they do is they look at you and don't part your hair in the center. You look like that. Or how can you...
Goodness, I just parted my hair in the center today.
I'm serious. You would not believe the stuff that these people, come up with to put their insecurities on you. And this is it. They have to make you feel insecure about yourself. So this is one of those insidious undercurrents that they must make you feel horrible. They must make you feel like you look terrible, or that you truly are ignorant, because if they can't, they're not in control. They're not in control. And that's what everything is about. Everything is about controlling and you reflecting them. See, you're not your own person. You're only a reflection. Oh no, Spa Diva's got pain. Okay, everybody, let's say a prayer for Spa Diva tonight. I'm sorry you're feeling pain, dear. Her and Carolyn, boy, you guys are going through some stuff.
Spa
Diva. Sorry, Spa Diva, you got to run, sweetie. Yeah, feel better, Cecilia. Okay, Deb, onward and upward. That was projecting insecurities, which I think we finally made it up to about number 13.
I have to honestly say,
what?
People have always tried to project that on me.
Yes.
All the insecurities I have offered up to God.
Yes.
In my prayers, okay?
You have to.
And today, I'm an old lady. and as of today, I don't feel I have any insecurities, because if people feel that way about me, then that's their problem. That's not my problem.
It is, and you can't. When we look at things that people say, we always have to think that reflects them, not us. There was a wonderful book a friend gave me years ago about buying into other people's stories. Everyone has a story, and everybody is trying to tell you a story. Whether you choose to buy into that story and reflect it is up to you. And the covert narcissist, unlike the overt, who is telling you, you're fat, you're stupid, you're dumpy, here, let me help you, trust me, I'm going to do this for you, and they just keep dumping on you. The problem is, the overt, you see them coming. The covert is so underhanded and so quiet. You remember that old expression?
Yep.
Never trust the quiet ones. It's the quiet ones get you in trouble.
Exactly.
Totally the covert. They slink away, kids. All right, so we're on number 14. Perfect glossed over childhood. This is one of the number one red flags when you're learning about somebody, whether this is a friend at church, whether this is, somebody you're considering being in a relationship, and they tell you, oh yeah, I had the best childhood. It was just so wonderful. But they don't give you any details. They just kind of gloss over it and say, oh yeah, we were all close and we all did this together and we did that. You have to wonder what really went on. Now, I can't say I can tie anything to the demonic with that, because as far as I know, demons don't really have, baby childhood. I mean, they just like, boom, jumped in, said heck no, and out they went. However, when you think about it, everything that the demonics are going to tell you is going to be a lie. So if they're trying to convince you that they're a little child ghost, or that they're a teenage ghost and they need some help and they had a really terrible childhood, but it really was a good childhood, but they're lonely and lost now. Lies, 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 and more lies, you guys. Tons of them.
Absolutely.
So on 15,
Great.
we're already at 15, Deb. Yeah, we're going to rock it out here.
Okay, hon.
The mask slips as the covert narcissist is going to mirror your emotions, okay? Because they don't really have emotions, okay? That's what people don't understand. But I love him. Oh, but you know, sometimes when they do this or sometimes when they do that, oh, it was so nice because he did this or he did that. In therapy, for some of these really well-known psychiatrists that put together this definition of the covert narcissist, the narcissist they studied actually had watched movies, okay? Actually watched movies and remembered lines and mirrored emotions so that they could get what they want out of relationships. Did you guys hear what I just said? They basically, they're copycats.
Yes, they are.
They're copycats. And what does a demonic do? What does a demonic do to us? The same thing.
Copycats, right. They're telling you what you want to hear.
Exactly. Because they do not have their own emotions. They do not have their own basis for security or happiness. So what do they have to do to get you to trust them? They have to mirror what they see. They have to watch you. And they have to do their best to give you back what they think you want. And that's the insidiousness of the demonic here, you guys. But
you know what puzzles me? Everybody's so enthused about the demonic.
Oh gosh,
and
I
you
know.
have to watch all these demonic movies, okay?
Oh, I know.
Sarah, I won't even watch these demonic movies.
I know you won't.
All the ones that have come out and people say, oh, have you seen this? Have you seen that? No.
You don't want to.
The reason why
You
is
lived
because
it.
I don't want to see it. I've already freaking lived it.
Exactly. And if you've lived it, you have no desire to live it again.
Exactly. Thank you.
None whatsoever.
No,
No.
I don't. I know what goes on. I know what goes on behind closed doors, and I know what's Hollywood.
Precisely.
Hollywood's
And a lot
going
of
to be
it's
different
Hollywood.
than what I've actually seen myself. You know?
I agree, sweetie.
So people forgive me if I rained on your parade,
Yeah.
but I know what I've seen in person, and I've seen levitation, I've seen things move, I've seen doors open and close and all that other crap, and whatever Hollywood throws in, they throw it in.
And they love to spice it up, as we know.
Oh, of course, absolutely.
Well, when I'm talking about number 15 in here, too, I don't want people to go away thinking that, you know, just the mirrored emotions is something benign, because it's not. It hides a really deep, hidden shame that coalesces and it bubbles into this rage. It's waiting to come out. And you can see it behind the eyes, that there's a rage that, as Tony was pointing out, you know, sociopath, there's so many different layers on top of a narcissist that will turn them into something very, very deadly. Most of the time, they don't want to go there because they love themselves too much, but they don't love themselves. They see themselves somewhat better than they are. And that's the biggest definition, kids, I can tell you, between the covert and the overt narcissist. The covert narcissist, they're convinced, they believe their stories, they know they are God's gift to this earth. The covert, no, they're worthless, and they'll do anything to keep their victims that way. And that is very demonic. And that's where we see some of this rage come in, and some of the backbiting, where they act like 3- and 4-year-old toddlers, stomping their feet, trying to be the constant center of attention, you guys. It's pretty ugly. So, Onward and upward. We're at number 16, Deb. Finally. Okay. Number 16. Now, when we're talking about cluster B personality traits, this is a group of personality traits that are next, and I do mean next to impossible to heal, to fix, to correct, because of the depth and level of disassociation from the basic human needs of nurturing, connection, affection, and basically love. So, number 16, the dysfunctionality, Deb. They are so filled with self-doubt, these narcissists, that they kind of have an Eeyore personality, like a misery loves company. Like, oh, I can't believe my life is so awful. It's almost as if, Deb, that they need you to constantly build them up. They need you to tell them how wonderful they are. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think that when we look at the dysfunctionality and the self-doubt that they live with every day, you're looking at somebody that is constantly living in a fight or flight pattern. Like their adrenals have got to be like mostly dead because they're constantly running. They're constantly looking for something that they don't have. So, yeah, and that's what demons are too. Demons know they will never get the beatific vision again. They totally know that. But that's not going to stop them from, trying to destroy us and, potentially, deal with something. So, okay. Number 17, Deb, the propensity toward depression. Now, this one's pretty important because when you look at the narcissist at first, they have everything to give you. They portray and project such happiness. They make you think that, everything is absolutely wonderful in their lives. Like, we were talking about, they have this great childhood, call them anytime, you can depend on them, just trust me. And then when you really step a little bit closer into their web, you find out that it's not all what it seems. That they're very sad and they're very frightened little children. And they're doing anything they can in really cruel ways to get any level of feeling okay directly from you as the source. So it's almost as if, Deb, this propensity towards depression is more, I would think, that they don't get their way, so they act sad. Doesn't that sound a little bit more realistic?
You know what? I think everyone on the face of this earth suffers depression in some sort of manner or way.
At one point in their life, they've
yes, absolutely.
Well, and that's just it. If we live in this world, we are going to encounter things that are going to make us very, very, very sad. But
there's some people that suffer depression where they can't get out of the bed.
Oh, yes.
That's a totally different situation.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I agree. It's completely different.
There's different levels of depression.
Oh, yes.
And the ones that can't get out of bed, those are the ones that are afflicted by the demonic.
Precisely. And that's why I wanted to draw the line to the demonic tonight, is a lot of people don't realize that demonic spirits will approach you as, help, fix me. I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm just a ghost that's so sad, and I'm so lost, and if you could help me find my $5 million in the wall, I'll make us both rich. Now knock this wall down. Oh no, knock that wall down. But I don't own this house. Oh, don't worry about it, you'll be rich, you can buy the house, just keep knocking it down. This inner sadness drives them, this inadequacy drives them to do anything and everything they can to direct you, to project themselves on you. If they're sad, you'd better feel sad too. Don't be laughing if they're sad. But if they're happy, I mean, why would you rain on their parade and be sad when they're happy? No.
That's the time you have to pray for them.
Exactly. I agree.
Yep. That's the time you have to pray for them, because it's not going to last long.
Oh, gosh, isn't that the truth?
Yep, it is.
I think that people need to realize there are there's only two kinds of spirits in this world. We are not ever given a spirit of sadness or depression. We are all born happy. We're all born joyful. Our circumstances.
Because we all don't know better when we're born.
No. No.
You have to teach it to us.
That's right. And, there's that fallacy out there that says, somebody can't love you until they love themselves. I'm going to tell you, kids, that's a lie. That is a lie. You can't expect somebody to love you that has never been loved.
Exactly.
Because if somebody hasn't been loved, they don't know what it's like to feel somebody loving them. Mm-hmm. So, consequently, how in the world could you love yourself if nobody's loved you? You wouldn't even know where to begin. And everybody says, get saved, get this and that. Oh, if you had this and that. We are of a human nature and a divine nature. That human nature can only know love to the extent that it's been loved, been given attention, been given touch.
When it's been nurtured.
Exactly. And people think, they're raised in a house and they had food and cars and they had gifts and all this other stuff. Were they touched? Were they told they were valued?
No.
Were they protected? And this is where we're drawing the line here with the narcissist that's so disassociated. There's no bond, okay? And that initial bond begins between a child and a parent, usually the mother. Not that fathers can't do this, because I've seen lots of great fathers. I know great fathers. But that bond...
It begins with the mother. It begins with the mother, Farrah.
It does. It does. And I tell so many people, a father can do a million crimes, a million horrible things. If there's a bad mother, serial killer in the making.
Sarah, what I've read, according to the DNA and scientific, through DNA, a son is connected and bonded with the mother through DNA until the age of 7 years old.
Wow.
They are actually connected to their mother through, the whole 7 years. And so my husband goes, no wonder why our children won't leave home.
I know. They're just connected by a cord. I have to thank AJ Manol. Thank you so much for the donation. God bless you. Thank you. Everybody give the video a thumbs up if you can, because we really want to get this information out, and we really want to help people understand the challenges of a true narcissist, the psychological challenges, and also the connections to the demonic and how it masks itself with all of these, with all of these mental illnesses. So thank you so much, AJ. Okay, on to next step. We're almost done, and then we can sum it up. All right, so this is the best one. This is the best one. You don't love me. You can't help me around here. What's wrong? Don't I do everything for you? Why can't you do this little thing for me? Narcissists are so underappreciated, kids. I mean, worse than a Jewish mom, worse than an Italian mom, worse than a Spanish mom. You can never, ever appreciate them enough. Drama. And the little covert narcissist is not going to get in your face. They're going to be like, you do that to me? Guilt tripping. So the
All right, right there, Farrah. I have to say, this is not only a male thing.
Oh, yeah.
This is also a female thing.
Oh, I agree. I agree.
Oh, females can do this as well. So I don't want all the males out there to think, oh, it's just all a male thing. No, it's not. It's also a female thing. You can take it from there, Farrah.
Mm-hmm. Well, the gender does not matter. Because
Exactly. Thank you.
the gender does not matter because it is the human connection that we create.
Yes.
And I think that if people don't understand that even though we are divine and we are human, we have something within us that if we do not get it, we suffer.
Yep.
We suffer mentally, we suffer emotionally. And
Sarah, I just didn't want the guys to think out there who are listening that it was all a guy thing. No, it's also a female thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, people like to separate, thinking that if you're male,
to do that.
Mm-hmm, yeah, and thinking that there's so much of a difference. But the problem is when you try and separate the sexes out, there's, shall we say, there are certain things that a guy has a propensity to do than a woman has a propensity to do. But the insidiousness of this mental illness is the same in both, and it results in the same. And I hate to say it, okay, I hate to sound sexist, Deb, women are way worse than men. Because men are more like...
I don't want to bring up, but, you know, I see it in both, Farrah. I see it in both.
Yes.
And I'm contacted by both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I think that...
And, you know, I'm contacted every day about saying prayer for this one or that one when I go into my rosaries. And I do actually add all these people.
Yes.
Last week I was into rosaries for 3 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
You know, so that, and when I do that, it takes a toll on me. I'm very tired after I do it.
I know, honey. I know.
But I was into it for 3 hours because all these people contact me, and I actually include all these people.
I know you do.
So I don't want guys to think that's just a guy thing. No, it's a woman thing too.
Yes, it is. It really, really is.
So that's my point, what I'm trying to make.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry if I bored everybody, but
I doubt you bored anybody. I doubt you bored anybody. Okay, so what are we on? We're on number 19. Oh my gosh, don't we know it? Number 19, kids, in the covert narcissism makeup is lie, 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 and lie some more. And it's like, okay, you look at pathological liars, this is beyond pathological lying. Because not only do they lie because they can, they lie before you can get a word in to find out what they're lying about. It's like, it's just lie on top of lie on top of lie. They don't really know the truth from the lie. And this is, it's so unacceptable for them to think that you could possibly expose the truth, or you could expose anything about who they really are, that they're constantly lying. When we look at the classic narcissist, which right now we're looking at the covert narcissist, which is insidious, and I'm going to tell you as we speak again, and I pass out that number for the domestic national hotline, the abuse hotline, kids. The covert narcissist, the way they work on somebody's sense of self, and you might have been raised in a great family, and you might be in a relationship with one of these people, and not even realize how you've lost your sense of direction, purpose, your identity, goals. All these things go away because every single thing that I pulled out, it erodes the sense of self. And this is the same thing demonics do and demonics use. So we're talking about the lies to cover up anything unacceptable. Whether you are in a relationship with a spirit guide, you're talking to spirits on a regular ghosting adventure, or you are involved with a covert narcissist, all you will
I don't
get...
know. When it comes to spirit guides, you got to go through discernment. You got to go through prayer.
Exactly.
They have to contact you. You don't contact them.
You know what I tell people now, Deb? Ignore it. Ignore it, ignore it, ignore it. See how long you're going to ignore it. Because if it's from God, it's not going anywhere. It's going to keep knocking and knocking and knocking and knocking. But if it's not from God, it'll get tired and go pick on somebody else in your family, somebody else you know. It will go pick on somebody that's a much easier target.
That's how we know it's discernment.
Exactly. And that's not an easy thing. Even the saints, some of the most powerful mystic saints that love God so much, were so holy. Just crazy, Deb. Okay, so before we lock it up, here it is, kids, number 20, and then we're going to sum up everything for you for the top 20. Okay. When you're looking for the sign that you're involved with a covert narcissist, you're looking for the final effect. Remember how at the beginning I told everybody you're curious. You might be with a covert narcissist. Why? Because you become an investigator. You're online. You're here looking at this video. You're trying to figure out, does my partner, my business partner, my marriage partner, do they exhibit these traits? Am I seeing these traits in this person? Am I possibly in a spiritual relationship that is reflecting something here? That's what I want you guys to think about. This is not just flesh and blood. We fight against principalities and powers and rulers in high places, and don't you forget it! Excuse me, don't make me smack my desk, kids. The effect. Number 20 is the effect. What is the effect that this person, this spirit, what is the effect that they're having on your life? Are you full of joy?
Oh, my goodness.
Are you praying? Or are you leaving behind the things you love? Are you cutting out the people that you love? Are you cutting out those things that you used to do because you have to make room for this one person that is destroying every ounce of creativity in your life? They are taking away everything that you thought you ever wanted. And you think that you're doing a good thing because you're making more time for them and you're making them happy and you're chasing a goal with them. No, they have no goals except to destroy you.
Yeah, because they're all on social media.
You, Tony, I know, right? I know. It's like, just it's so true because, and social media is a slow corrosion, a slow erosion.
It all depends what type of social media you're on.
I agree. And there are different forms of social media.
Yes. Yes.
I think that, sadly, Facebook is the worst.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the only way we can connect with people from the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where they are.
I agree.
You know, so it's a catch-22.
I think that when people have to look at all these symptoms, and now you might see a few, okay? You might see a few symptoms. Like, you know, they do this, they do that, they do this. They might have narcissistic tendencies, but that does not make them a narcissist. They may have wounds. They may have horrible wounds that basically they default, okay? Because there's all kinds of patterns of behavior, you guys, that are not as insidious as this. That all of a sudden they default to lying because it is a defense mechanism they learned as a child. That's totally different. We're not talking about that. We're talking about a cooperation of an organism to serve itself and only itself, because it has no self, it has no emotion, it has nothing but shame and no attachment. There is nothing there. Nothing. And I know this is hard to believe. It's hard to imagine that the person that you work with, the person that you're with, it's hard to believe that this could be somebody that you thought was capable of being in a relationship. They're not. They're just not. So.
Sarah, did I ever tell you you still type too loud?
Well, you know what happened? I got rid of my old keyboard, the soft one. Okay, fine. I'll get the soft keyboard and I'll plug it in for the show. Okay? Okay? Okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I have to, because we're at the top of the hour again. I have to go over, you guys. Please, 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 please share this number. This is the National Abuse Hotline. You don't have to be a woman, a man, a girl, a boy. You don't have to be anybody. If you suspect that you are in a relationship, you are with somebody that is using you, abusing you, withholding love, withholding emotions, withholding friends, withholding anything from you, that you believe that there's something wrong, there's something not right about this, call this hotline.
It doesn't only zero in on men, it's also women as well as men.
Well, that's just it. Most people don't think that men can be abused, and sadly, some of the worst cases that I've
talked to... There's a lot of men that are abused.
Oh, yeah.
No. There's a lot of men that are abused.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Some of the worst cases are men that are like, how did this happen to me? And sadly, I see some of the most horrible thing is men that have actually been physically hit and abused by women.
Yes.
They're so ashamed of it. They're so ashamed of it. And how the heck, how do we become a society where women are beating on men? Scary, guys.
So we're not just all about women. We're also for men.
We're equal opportunity busters, okay, kids? That's all there is to it. So what we're talking about with a covert narcissist, bottom line, is that this is one of the worst personality types to get involved with. This person has a 0 to 0.0001% chance of changing and affecting change in a positive manner, basically because they don't want it. They don't want anything that makes them responsible, requires them to act, requires them to be a part of something. This is the most insidious. Just some of the illnesses that are caused by being with someone, that is a covert narcissist. Anxiety.
And also, don't you want to also talk about next week?
Oh, yes.
I'll just throw that out there while we're here, honey.
Go ahead. Tell me, Deb, what are we doing?
Okay. Farrah's got a nice banner for everyone created by my husband.
Yes, I do.
And we hope to tell some ghoulish stories.
Yeah, we're going to share some of our own ghoulish stories, like roasting hot dogs and flinging the flaming hot dogs over at the neighbor's yard.
So, yeah, that would be good. So next week, because it's Halloween, we're going to try and make it a little fun, okay?
Yeah, we are.
So,
and if you belong to the Real Deal show...
we'll mix the truth with anything else that comes up.
Yeah, it's just going to be a fun night. It's All Hallows Eve, the night before All Souls Day, and we're going to celebrate and just enjoy the fact that it is, the eve of All Souls Day. And we'll tell you a little bit about Halloween, and and it's actually, people often think that, it's Samhain, it's the, the high black magic, high witchcraft, and, things act up. Yeah, things are busy this time of year, but nothing like Easter. Easter's really bad. So
I agree.
We're not celebrating Halloween so much as we're basically going to take a look at it. We're going to have fun with it. We're going to tell some stories.
We're going to show everybody. We're going to show everybody about Halloween.
Exactly. So like I said, remember, you guys, that this is nothing to mess with. Covert narcissism or the demonic side of it, you want to be very careful because it can cause serious problems. All sorts of anxiety disorders, heart palpitation, high blood pressure. You can get major headaches. You can have so many horrible physical symptoms from being around somebody like this. Get away from them. Call the national hotline for help. And don't hesitate to talk to one person, because that one person can help you realize that you don't have to stay in a relationship like that ever. And as we look at the end of the night, thank you so much, Deb, for joining us. I want to thank everybody for the donation. Julie, Tony, thanks for monitoring chat for me with Deb. I didn't see Michelle. I saw the other Michelle in there. And Doris and Bernard, thank you so much. You guys, it's wonderful to have your input. Good night, Santo, Carolyn, Athena.
Yes. Sarah, I want to thank everyone for having me. Thank you and everyone else. God bless.
Yes, yes, yes. God bless you all. And don't forget, we're here to help you fight the fight and win it right. So, we want to wish you what? A good night, sweetheart. Good night. Sweet dreams, Deb. God bless, everyone. Good night.
The Real Deal TV show, copyright 2018, a Swords of St. Michael production. Any unauthorized duplication of